This is Dragon Blogger here to tell my readers about a Twitter application called Refollow, which allows you to manage your followers and those who are following you as well as who you are following. This application was brought to my attention by Blazing Minds, who did a post on it showing that you can unfollow people who don't have a Twitter profile picture, which I thought was very useful because whoever doesn't have a Twitter profile picture is probably just a spam account and is not an account you're likely to want to follow. But a lot of people auto-follow people who follow them, so you end up following a lot of Twitter accounts you may not want to follow. So the first thing you want to do is go to refollow.com and sign into the application with your Twitter Oath token. You'll be presented by default with your entire list of who you are following and your followers. You'll see a bunch of check boxes up at the top of the screen. You can filter down to only people who are not following you by checking not following me. And then you could see these are just the followers who are not following you on Twitter, and you can choose to unfollow them by page. You could say select page, and it will select the first 100 people. You'll see a little checkbox appear, and then you can unfollow them. You can unselect the page. You could select all if there's more than 100, and then you could either choose to follow or unfollow, block, lock, unlock. There's a lot of options with this utility, which are very, very useful. So one thing you want to do is you want to see who's following me, for example, and who doesn't have a profile picture. And you can see I have 4 accounts following me that don't have a profile pic. I'll see who am I following, and you'll see I'm not following anybody without a profile picture. I have tons of people I'm following, but I don't have any without a profile picture. You could also do a filter and see who's had no tweets in the past, let's say 15 days, and all these accounts have not tweeted in 15 days. Let's say who hasn't tweeted in the last 30 days. These accounts haven't tweeted in the last 30 days. Chances are, if they're not very active on Twitter, you might not be so interested in following them. These haven't tweeted in the last 90 days. So these would definitely be candidates for removing and not following because they haven't tweeted in 3 months. They're inactive Twitter accounts. So I'll click select page here. I'll click unfollow, and I'll unfollow those users who haven't tweeted in the last 90 days that I was following. Again, the search options here are amazing, how it can filter down. Never followed, previously followed. You can even do searches for users who have mentioned me on Twitter. So just do a search for users who have mentioned me on Twitter. Click update, it'll load and find out who has sent you an reply or mentioned you on Twitter recently. Again, this query could take a little time to run because it has to query all of Twitter to see who mentioned you in the Twitter database. And you'll see this is a list of all people who are following me who've retweeted or mentioned me in the past X amount of time. I don't know how far back it queries on Twitter, or like 3 days or a week, but it shows you basically everybody who's mentioned you. And then what you could easily do is select them all and follow them to make sure you're following people who mention you, if you want to do that or things like that. Again, this is one of the most useful Twitter tools on the web, refollow.com. This is one of my favorite tools now for managing your Twitter followers or people who are following you. It makes it very easy to bulk follow, bulk unfollow, trim up your following list, or even find followers of other people. You can even, for instance, click on users who are following and put in Blazing Minds, for example, and you could show a list of all users who are following Blazing Minds. So with Refollow, you can not only see your own followers and who you're following, but you could see users who are following other Twitter followers, and you could check mark to see if they're following you or they're not following you. And this may give you some ideas on other people who have liked Twitter accounts or tweet about the same like specialties or categories. It'll allow you to follow their followers or see who's following them, so you can tap into the same followers and potentially convert them to followers of your own account. So this has been a video demonstration of the Refollow tool, refollow.com. This is one of my favorite applications online for managing your Twitter followers and people who are following you on Twitter. Thank you.